Let's break down this Daulton Varsho trade up next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. Today is Wednesday, December 28th. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Chris the Welsh. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at IsItTheWelsh. Daulton Varsho was traded to the Blue Jays last week in exchange for catcher prospect Gabriel Moreno and outfielder Lourdes Gurriel. Let's first talk about Daulton Varsho, traded away from your Diamondbacks. Unfortunately, Welsh, but it was a great year for Varsho, 69th overall in Roto last year, 27 homers, 16 steals, his early ADP, pick 42, pick 43, right in that, fourth round range of a 12-team league. Your thoughts on his value now with the Toronto Blue Jays?
Yeah, I think this is a relatively lateral trade. Maybe the Diamondbacks were going to push it by running a little bit more. There's maybe more run RBI opportunities in Toronto, so give or take on that. Varsho is a hitter overall, kind of struggled last year, 221 against lefties, 240 against righties, only hit over 250 1 month of the entire season, and both halves of the season, he hit under 240. So there was really never a consistency as far as his hitting goes. So the big question is going to be, where does he hit in the lineup in Toronto? He hit around 288 with the Diamondbacks when he was hitting 5, so that might be a nice spot. This is a left-handed bat that they obviously need to get in there, but will he platoon? That's a serious question you could have. Here's the deal. Overall, it's a good offensive lateral trade. I don't think he comes up or down. Dynasty, it's a little bit of a bigger question because his potential loss in catcher value, but that's not going to happen this year. So overall, this is good. I think you're going to see his RBIs and runs tick up. I have a feeling his stolen bases are going to tick back down. And if there is any uptick in batting average, then this is going to probably look like a lopsided trade.
Yeah, maybe he's more of a 10 to 15 steal guy moving forward, not that 16 to 20 that we saw last year and maybe what people thought moving forward, but big lineup upgrade, big ballpark upgrade as well for Daulton Varsho. And as you touched on from a dynasty perspective, it looks like this will be his last year with catcher eligibility, but crazy things happen. If there's an injury to Alejandro Kirk, if there's an injury to Danny Jansen, then boom, he's right back in the mix. Or
another trade. You can't take it out of the realm of possibility that maybe the Blue Jays are going to go all in and they're going to make another trade, and they know that they've got the versatility. Maybe Danny Jansen, who's got huge steamer projections, is going to be on the move. We just saw what Sean Murphy just got on the open market. So it's not easy to get a future cornerstone catcher. So it's just not out of the realm of possibility that they don't move one, and then all of a sudden, all of our speculation thrown out the window on Varsho and Dynasty coming back up.
All right, well, let's talk about who he was traded for. Gabriel Moreno was regarded as one of the top catcher prospects this time last year. I think he's fallen a bit in some people's eyes. Let's get your thoughts. 62 games at AAA this past season. Gabriel Moreno hit .315, but with only 3 home runs. He played 25 games with the Blue Jays. He hit .319, but with only 1 home run. So there's a big hit tool here, lots of batting average, question marks about the power. What do you think about Gabriel Moreno's skill set moving forward? And will he be the starter for the Diamondbacks because they do have Carson Kelly?
I don't believe he's going to be the starter. I think Carson Kelly they're going to stick with. I don't know how long that's going to be, but they might use them in an overall platoon type of situation. If anything, if let's say you have 6 starts in a week, I think it's going to start with 4 to Kelly, 2 to Moreno, and then it'll slowly move forward as just as far as comfortable as they get with him. He's a good overall defensive catcher. He can throw. The ability to frame and stuff could be put into question with the challenge system that'll be coming into play. You're going to need a good arm. I think he's probably got a better arm than Carson Kelly if there's going to be more stolen base attempts overall. So I think that's a positive, and that is something, if he can call the games correctly with this young staff and the veterans, don't forget Gallen, Bumgarner, and Kelly, then that is going to work in his favor. But I think guys like Bumgarner are probably going to want the guy that they've worked with before. I wouldn't be shocked if it was like Kelly, Gallen, and Bumgarner was Merrill Kelly, Bumgarner, and Gallen is all Carson Kelly, and then Moreno's working with the younger guys for the future. But overall, Moreno is a solid hitter. Hit 380 against lefties last year in Buffalo, while hitting 287 against righties. So he's an overall good hitter. He hit 16 doubles in around 90 games. He's just got to get the ball off the ground. And hopefully the Diamondbacks are going to be able to work through. If not, it's going to look like empty catcher stats. He can run a tiny bit, did steal 7 bases this past year. So we got to monitor all this. Hopefully they can be aggressive in a Varsho type of way, let him get on the move a little bit. But we've got to see a change in his approach. He's already got the contact approach. We've got to see if it's going to turn into a power approach. Then his overall value is going to change. But maybe he's a dynasty buy right now. But from a redraft perspective, probably going to let him stay on the wire and go in a different direction.
All right, lastly, I'll just quickly hit on Lourdes Gurriel, likely to play either left field or DH for the Diamondbacks. Strong batting average, hit .291 last year, but quite empty stats. Only 5 home runs, 3 steals in 121 games. It's a downgrade for the lineup. It's a downgrade for the ballpark. Entering a contract year, so maybe you hope the power could bounce back a little bit, but overall, I think this is a tick down here for Lourdes Gurriel, whose ADP is currently outside of the top 200. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Audacy app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we'll be back again on Thursday. Bye-bye!